Within my findings, I stumbled upon 4 distinct instances that shed light on individuals who displayed an exceptional level of caution and conduct. These 4 individuals, beginning with the infamous poolside Karen, eventually experienced the repercussions of their actions.
Yeah, it's true. You have a fob, 2 people. You have a Mexican party in the pool. Trash. Oh yeah, you can't do that. You can't just record me.
Higher people along here. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you guys are such losers. Go back down to Denver. I live here. Nowhere where you ever came from, you low class slime. Oh my God, it's so dumb, and you're wearing it at the pool, you idiot. Yeah, you don't even know what Hermes is. I have Hermes sandals on. Oh yeah, and these? Hold on, wait, this is good. And these? No.
Introducing Blair Fetterman, a 49-year-old woman who, on July 2, 2023, engaged in an altercation with a Spanish family at her local pool in Lakewood, Colorado. During this unfortunate incident, she directed racist comments towards them, insinuating that they were out of place. It is up to you to discern whether she was referring to their presence at Alta Green Mountain Apartments or their presence in the entire country. Despite being recorded in this disgraceful act, Mrs. Fetterman proceeded to contact the police. 6 officers promptly arrived at the scene, where they were met by a multitude of individuals willing to support the victims.
Both my boys rent an apartment here. They reserved the clubhouse to have a family barbecue and family gathering, a few friends. When I arrived with food, the blonde girl gave me crap about, she came up to the gate and she said, "Do you have a fob?" I said, "No, but my boys live here." She said, "Well, I work at the front desk," which she doesn't. Then as more of our family started gathering, she was getting more pissed and more pissed. She started mouthing off to my granddaughter saying, "Where's Lexi? What did she tell Lexi? You don't live here? What are you doing here? You don't live here?" We're just getting very, very nasty. My son, who lives here, tried to go over and, calm the situation, like, "Hey, we're having a family barbecue. We live here. We've got a fob." And her brother went down on him, attacked him. He fell on the rocks.
I'm sorry, can you?
The family then presented the officers with the aforementioned footage, making them the first witnesses to this humiliating spectacle. Little did they know that this clip would eventually reach the eyes of millions. Like many individuals of her ilk, Blair attempted to assert her superiority over Alexis Alba. She belittled Alexis for wearing the prestigious brand Hermes, seemingly convinced that those who do not resemble her do not deserve to don such expensive attire. The family then proceeded to provide their testimonies to the officers. While the family of the victims remains composed, friendly, and respectful towards the police, Mrs. Fetterman is preparing to display her unwarranted sense of entitlement to these officers.
Well, so basically this pool lately has had a lot of pool hoppers. Okay?
Yeah.
So, and I like to enjoy my pool. I have 2 girls that don't even come to the pool anymore because of all the pool hoppers.
Okay.
They don't even enjoy it because we know who is here and who's not.
Okay.
So apparently I think they had a birthday party or something, but I asked, so here's all I did. I was right here, and see the Louis Vuitton guy? He's the one who started it all. That motherfucker. I said to him, I said, do you have a fob? Because that's what everyone's saying. It's not just me. Other people are living there asking me people with fobs.
Was he with a big group over there?
Right, but I said you're only allowed to have 2 people. Meanwhile, the whole pool is filled with a fucking party. These people don't have a fob. You're only allowed to have 2 guests, not 20.
Sure.
So we're over here, mind you. This whole crew over here comes over, bum rushes me. I had 2 girls fucking trying to kill me. So I tried to defend myself, but my phone is gone, and I recorded everything, and they probably have my phone.
Who has your phone?
We don't know. Someone took my phone because I recorded the whole thing.
What kind of phone was it?
It was an iPhone, the smaller one, not the big one.
7 or 10?
Shoot, I don't know.
Okay. How much did it cost you?
I don't even know. I don't know. But I'm just saying, I put it on record and I was recording the whole thing and they took my phone.
Fetterman portrays herself as a victim of assault by 2 women, as well as a victim of her stolen cell phone. However, as more officers arrive at the scene and interview additional witnesses, a completely different narrative emerges, consistently supported by the evidence. They say every story has 2 sides, but it feels more like this. One side has numerous perspectives, all saying the same thing, while the other side is fabricating lies. Nevertheless, in any investigation, it is necessary to document everyone's account. In this case, a patient officer diligently records the statements of Blair and her companions.
Because I've got a female with pretty good injuries that is blaming you as well. It's kind of this thing.
Well, maybe she attacked me. I
Maybe you
defended
did,
myself.
maybe you did. I
Well,
don't know.
okay,
my
so
God, she
here,
came
I'm
at me.
gonna tell you right now. So when
didn't
you
have run after
move
her.
from one area to
Good,
come
the
to
house
the
was
other
full.
area,
I
that's
saw
an
out.
aggressive act.
Well, I get that.
Is it not?
I get it.
My man?
Well, God,
I mean, depending on the circumstances.
Okay, but more than one person, absolutely. When you're dealing with one person and 8 people come over,
Yeah.
that's an aggressive act.
Can I explain one thing? So, and again, I don't know the whole story about what you guys were talking about with my partner over here. I was conversing with some of the folks over there, and then this is what they told me, and to correct me if any of this is accurate or wrong, okay? So,
As Blair and her friends persist in spouting falsehoods about who attacked whom, despite the video evidence that has already debunked their claims, an officer who has grown tired of their entitled behavior returns to offer them a reality check. Refusing to endure any further disruptions, this officer adopts a more assertive demeanor, delivering a much-needed wake-up call to Blair and her male associates. With a dozen unrelated individuals supporting the evidence against her, it's baffling how they continue to play the victim. Perhaps when faced with irrefutable proof, they will finally accept responsibility.
Okay, so here's the bottom line. I'm going to speak now, and you guys can follow up with me tomorrow after I review the camera. I have an independent witness that is one-on-one basis with the district manager here. That said you were saying racist stuff, instigating everything, blowing it up, and then when they confronted you, you couldn't handle it. Well, we're going to review the cameras tomorrow when they come in. I'm going to talk to Wyatt, okay? And I'll see what happened, okay? We've got them identified. I will look at the cameras. If it's one side or the other, we'll handle it appropriately. That's all, okay? It's not personal. We just can't verify anything today. And this guy who called the district manager, we can't make him leave today. That's where we're at.
Blair's sense of entitlement appears to have no limits, despite the building manager confirming that the accused family had indeed booked the pool and even contacting them directly. She refuses to acknowledge her culpability. Instead, she stubbornly clings to her delusions. These actions have the potential to provoke violence. In Colorado, disorderly conduct can lead to misdemeanor charges ranging from Class 1 to 3. The officer specifically refers to a Class 1 offense involving public disturbances or offensive language. However, it seems unlikely that charges will be pressed in this case. The officer sets an exceptional example of de-escalation tactics. Blair and her group eventually leave the pool, convinced of their righteousness, but they will soon face a harsh reality check. Naturally, once a video of Blair emerged on social media, she became an instant sensation, dubbed the poolside. Although no legal charges were filed, the public backlash was enough to prompt Blair's misguided decision to embark on a media tour, desperately attempting to portray herself as the victim. Thankfully, most people can see right through her act right now. While Blair Feather means only real punishment was being branded as a cure, and for the rest of her life, some Karen's entitlement knows no bounds, like this mind-blowing case of a woman who threw a temper tantrum above the safety of her newborn baby.
No, I'm asking, am I under arrest
I can
right
make
now?
that decision right now. Do you want to go to jail?
Am I currently under arrest?
You're being trespassed at the very least. Okay?
For what?
She wants you off the property. You better lose the attitude. What
Then
is
I
with
will
you?
leave. I will leave.
Give me your information real quick.
No, thank you.
Give me your information
No,
real quick.
sir.
Ma'am, listen.
Sir,
We're not playing this game.
I have a
We are not
meeting to
playing
go
this game.
to.
We're not playing this game. Give me your information right now, because you're being detained on
For
suspicion
what?
of assault. You on battery.
Assault?
You put your hands on the security.
Are you serious?
Give me your name and information right now.
If you want it, you can get it from
No,
here.
I'm not getting it from anybody else. You give me your information
Please.
right now.
Please
ma'am.
excuse me.
Do not do
Please
this.
excuse me.
You have a child on your chest.
Exactly.
Do
Look
not
how
do
close
this.
you are.
Do not cause issues while you have a
Is your
child.
body
What is
camera
wrong?
on?
Yes, it's on.
Perfect, thank you.
Give me your information right now.
No, thank you. I'm leaving. I am leaving. Am I under arrest?
You're being detained.
No.
Yes, you
Detained for what?
I told you already, for battery.
Oh, don't say that about my child. That's
Stop.
offensive.
Get down. You need to listen.
Guys, you guys need to back the fuck up.
No, we don't. Ma'am,
I need my bag.
do you have anything to say? And what do you have to say? Pull it out. I already asked you for your license.
You're very disrespectfully.
In February 2020, 3 officers responded to a 911 call that was too outrageous for anyone to believe. Officer Gabriel Fisher responded to the scene at the Grand Central Bus Station in St. Petersburg, Florida. It turned out that, as unbelievable as it sounded, the 911 call had been correct. As witnesses corroborated Officer Fisher, a woman with an infant strapped to her chest had been rapidly riding a scooter and assaulted an elderly female security guard. What? At first, it looks like an unassuming young mother and child is in fact the suspect. Destiny Froese, just as the witnesses described, her infant child is strapped to her chest. How someone could ever do what she's accused of with their child in such a vulnerable position is unthinkable. But it's about to become extremely clear that Froese is quite capable of that and much worse. For a battery in the state of Florida, battery is a misdemeanor, punishable by up to a year sentence or a $1,000 fine. However, as the victim is a licensed security guard, the charge would be a felony with much harsher sentencing guidelines. Destiny is showing a clear misunderstanding of the term detained here. While she isn't yet under arrest, as the officers are investigating a crime, she is not free to go and must follow their lawful order to identify herself. All her manic screaming, flailing, and attempts to pull away from the officers could also land her a resisting arrest with violence charge at best, or a battery on an officer charge at worst, punishable by up to 5 years in prison. On top of all this, she's putting herself at risk of losing custody of her child and showing herself as an unfit mother. But despite all the trouble, she's just brewed up for herself. She somehow thinks it's a good idea to act like this, fed up with her attitude and appalled by her total disrespect for her child.
Where's that guy who said he saw everything? Huh? That guy that witness, what you saw, where'd he go? Did he already leave? Alright. Alright, where did she hit you? She hit you in the face? With both hands? Yeah, well, she did it to herself. She put that baby in her place, so.
Officer Fisher walks away to speak with the actual victim. While the footage is obscured, the victim here points out her head and upper body as the places Destiny hit her. Her name is Aisha Latifa Abdullah, a 66-year-old grandmother working as a security guard. Meanwhile, the other officer is still exercising a massive amount of patience in dealing with Ms. Froese. Destiny doesn't realize it, but even after being told the definitions of every crime she's being investigated for, she just admitted to committing battery by stating she was the first person to unlawfully touch the other, as well as admitting that at any point she did begin hitting Aisha Abdullah. But just watch how embarrassing her attempt to wise up and follow the kind of bad legal advice you'd find on Facebook is when Officer Fisher returns. Destiny.
I don't know how far he's going and what's being, completely alleged. All I know is someone called and they said that you put your hands on something, okay? That's a crime. The reason why I asked for his name is when a crime's involved in front of a minor, I have to report it to DCF. I have to.
Well, then I need to call the house that I'm staying at because it's a DCF middleman right there.
Okay. But again, listen, I don't know what the other side is alleging right now other than you put your hands on it. Okay?
I didn't put my hands on her until she swung back at me. because I went to snatch the phone out of her hand.
Destiny doesn't realize it.
Okay. Can I tell you something real quick?
I'm gonna be easy.
Okay.
That I'm handling you or nothing, okay? Just relax, though.
Destiny continues, ignoring the officer, calling a family member to come pick up her child, whose safety she's suddenly very concerned with. Now, where was that concern when she was assaulting a grandmother? Well, Destiny is undoubtedly a Karen, and in the wrong here. It's incredibly important to remember that police are allowed to lie to you in pursuit of a confession. That's exactly what Officer Fisher did. Talking to the police can lead someone to confess without even realizing it. If a person believes they've done no wrong, it's best to state you're involving your Fifth Amendment rights, comply with lawful orders, but remain completely silent until you have an attorney present. Destiny was charged with felony battery on a licensed security officer at the time of this recording. The case remains ongoing, but considering her outright confession on camera, it's safe to say she'll likely face conviction. But Karen doesn't just disregard the safety of infants. As contemptible as it sounds, some Karens even despised dogs and disabled people.
The gentleman right there with the blue shirt was dog, and I believe the lady.
What's wrong? You gotta run quick.
Well, I don't think she's going to outrun me, that's for sure.
That's a fact.
Where's she at? That lady over there? I got you, Mom.
She's trying to move quickly because she knows she stepped down.
On February 16th, 2023, an officer from the Indian River County Sheriff's Department in Fort Pierce, Florida, responded to a call at a local public supermarket, claiming that someone had assaulted a disabled man with a service dog. The victim's name is Martin Drawback. The disabled 71-year-old man eagerly directs the officer to the woman who he claims assaulted him, hoping she wouldn't have time to flee. Now, no matter what you imagine this assaulter might look like, I guarantee you'd never expect what the officer encountered next. The assault...
Hi,
Hello.
how you doing?
So the asshole really did call you, huh?
Yes.
Good.
What's going on?
Well, his fucking dog jumped on him. Afterwards, I kicked him in the ass.
You kicked who?
Okay?
You kicked
So
who?
what would you like to discuss?
What's the story?
What's the story? I asked the man why he had the dog in here. It's a service dog. Where's his jacket? Where's his proof? I don't have to show you. The law says I don't have to. I said, well, we'll go up to the desk then. I don't have to show them either. I said, because he's not a fucking service dog. And then the dog jumped on me. So I turned around and I kicked him in the ass.
The assaulter showed to be 80-year-old retiree Virginia Wargo, Pittsburgh. While most people are reluctant to admit their crimes to the police before the officer could even get a word in, Virginia already confessed to assaulting Martin. How she describes the event shows a level of entitlement you'd think nobody could maintain after 80 years on Earth. It's clear that this Karen has never experienced consequences before, but that egocentric worldview of hers is about to be brought tumbling down.
You have your ID on you?
He then presented this thing. I don't do this. I don't show this to people. But here's this thing. I said, shove it up your ass.
Okay. Well, he doesn't have to. Number one, you don't work here. It's not your right to be asking around.
It's not my right?
No, it's not.
Oh, well, here.
I don't need your debit card. I need your ID.
Why not? You're going to give me a ticket.
As a matter of fact, you are going to jail.
Oh, that's even better.
Yep. So, turn around, put your hands behind your back.
Give me a fucking break.
Turn around, put your hands behind your back.
Oh, wait. Can I put my wallet away?
Turn around, put your hands behind your back.
You guys have nothing better to do.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
How old are you?
I'm 80.
You're 80, acting like a 14-year-old.
Well, you're like a
The officer deserves to be commended for how well he's handling the situation. This 80-year-old wasn't kidding when she said the only weapon on her is her mouth, as she's taken every opportunity to be as rude as possible to this officer. It seems like she's delusional and doesn't understand the severity of her situation, but it'll quickly become clear.
Why do I not have a right to question a person when the law says you can't have animals in supermarkets and stores? Tell me.
Service animals are exempt, and you're not allowed to.
I asked him if it was a
You're not allowed
service
to
dog.
ask.
Why?
Because you're not allowed to. It's protected. There's people with disabilities. You didn't know that?
Because it's in his head. That's where his disability is.
Still have the right to
Well,
make you kick someone.
the dog didn't have the right to jump on me, did he? Service animals don't jump on me.
You instigated the whole thing.
Bullshit. Dogs jumped on me before I kicked them in the hips.
According to Florida Statute 403-08, subsection 4, any person who interferes with a disabled person with a service animal, admittance, or enjoyment of public places is guilty of a misdemeanor punishable by 30 hours of community service with an organization that helps disabled people. Virginia's incessant public outbursts would likely constitute a violation of this law. Virginia's mouth ended up only being a weapon used against herself. In the end, Virginia and Warrego Pitts owner was arrested for the first time at 80 years old, charged with felony battery on a person over 65, as well as misdemeanor disorderly conduct. She was released on a $3,000 bail shortly after arriving at the Indian River County Jail, with the case still pending at the time of this recording. But Virginia's legendary sass seems laughable in the face of one of the most vitriol-like, disrespectful Karens I've ever encountered.
Maybe like 10 minutes, and then that's when she called.
Okay.
After.
10 minutes ago, and then no one around it.
So it might have been there for longer.
Yeah.
On the 1st of July 2022, at the JetBlue terminal in Fort Lauderdale International Airport, a worker reported a relatively regular occurrence to an on-site police officer. Someone had left their luggage unattended, but nobody had any idea just how far out of hand this seemingly simple situation would end up. We all know how extremely tight airport security can be, with constant announcements reminding travelers to never leave luggage unattended.
This looks like documents.
Yeah.
Like,
FAU, education.
oh yeah, that's part of what's causing the gulf a little bit. Lisa Michelle Landy.
As recently as March 2023, this very airport had to be evacuated when an unattended suitcase was found. Thankfully, after having a bomb-sniffing dog check this bag out, the officer found it to be safe to search in hopes of finding information on its owner. After searching its contents, the officer discovered that the bag belonged to a woman named Lisa Michelle. With that name, JetBlue employees were able to find her information in the system and discover she was traveling. But
May I take a picture and put this on it as well? And
sure,
send it to the
yeah.
gate agent?
It's broken, so.
Yeah. Let me show you the weight.
Wow. 80 something pounds.
83. She's just leaving all her stuff, I guess.
That's like cargo. She didn't want to pay the $150 plus the bag fee, so she said, I'll leave it there now. They'll have to send it to me.
Did the, what time does the flight leave?
They're supposed to be boarding. It is delayed, so he's going to pull her from us. So.
And the deputy over there's also looking for her.
This is good because people try to get over. It's ridiculous.
So you'd have to send it to them if we locate the name and everything. So they that's how they kind of jump over the 150.
Yep.
Terrible.
But it quickly came to light that her abandoning of her bag wasn't accidental, but rather extremely devious. Lisa had left her 83 bag to avoid paying a $150 fee, which is the $150. The employee and officer keep referring to it by leaving it unattended in the airport. A passenger can avoid the fee while the airline is forced to send it to the passenger's address at the airline's expense. Thankfully.
Oh, jeez.
And now, you know, you got to be even more concerned when you're driving because you don't know the person that's on the road.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. Yo! Lady! We don't speak that here! What are you saying? Are you fucking kidding me? In the airport? In public? You said the N-word? Are you serious? You're yelling that shit here. No. Go. No, you're gonna go. No, you're gonna take your big ass fucking cancer. Get that fucking 83-pound suitcase. Excuse you, that's your shit.
Thankfully, the officer eventually receives an update that will completely ruin Lewin's master plan. But in that last moment when Lisa shoved the officer, she went from free to committing battery on an officer in 0 seconds flat. As we learned earlier from Destiny Froese, that's a felony carrying up to a 5-year sentence, and from here, things only get worse.
Go get it! Get downstairs, lady. Get downstairs.
I can't carry it.
No, get your shit. Go downstairs. Let's go. Excuse you. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Get your hands
You're gonna
off
get
of
arrested.
me.
That's what. Excuse you.
Just stop.
No.
Stop.
No.
I want to see my
You're
mother
gonna be
tomorrow.
No, you're arrested now.
He told no, I'm not arrested.
No.
Ow,
No.
my foot.
Get.
Ow.
No. Put your hands behind your back.
No.
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Excuse you. Put your hands behind your back.
Stop. Please stop.
You need to stop.
Mother. You're too young, so you don't understand. What is
You're acting like a freaking lunatic.
Late 80s, dying of cancer.
Nobody cares right now because you're acting like a lunatic at an airport. You're shouting racist, derogatory terms in the middle of an airport.
My mom is dying of cancer.
No. 3 out for 32. Can we have another unit come over here? I need, I'm gonna need transport for 105.
I just need to...
Lisa can add resisting arrest with violence to the offenses she's committed during her completely unnecessary tantrum. Another felony that can carry up to a 5-year sentence, but as soon as she's subdued, she switches from vicious and violent to trying to play the sympathy card in a weak attempt to escape consequences. Culture, lady. Remember when I said hate crimes would come back?
All I want to do is see my mother.
You're not when you're blasted drunk, lady.
No, but this officer told me that tomorrow I can.
Well, not before you started yelling. You know what you just said?
You're a fucking spick. Get yourself.
I'm a spick. I'm a spick. Okay. I'm a spick. You got the wrong culture, lady.
Well, Lisa just narrowly avoided committing one through her stupidity and ignorance. Had the officer been Hispanic, she would have racked up another charge. All that over a $150 baggage fee.
I'm a fucking spick, okay?
Get my hands out of here and hey, Dean.
I can't even put her in my car.
Because guess what?
Oh, you have a cannon? You have a dog?
Yeah.
There's such a thing as guns in South Florida, Dean.
What are you trying to say? You have ID on you?
No.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna find your.
I got her. Just tell them we're at door 323.
323.
My mother.
Just tell them we're at door 232.
In the end, Lisa Michelle Landry got lucky. The officers only charged her with one of the many felonies they could have: assault on an officer. Lisa was also charged with misdemeanor disorderly intoxication, which is punishable by up to a year in jail with video evidence against her. This, Karen, didn't stand a chance at trial, instead striking a plea bargain that landed her on community service and probation. Also, it should go without saying that she won herself a luxury. All expenses paid, lifetime ban from JetBlue Airlines. Click the video on the screen and watch as I break down more cases.